Hey everyone, my name is Devin, aka Action Ricker, and today we're going to be looking at another anime physique from an anatomical position. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, let's dive in. Today we're looking at Pickle specifically, Pickle from Baki. This guy is absolutely massive. If you're unfamiliar with the Baki universe in general, I highly recommend that you get into it. It's just badass in general, and the physiques, if you're into bodybuilding, oh my gosh, these are some of the best anime physiques of all time. So we're gonna start this video looking at the upper limbs, then we're gonna go to the upper front torso, then the upper back torso, and then the lower body. We're gonna give each one of those sections a rating, and then we're gonna come back for the total overall score. So we're gonna find out exactly how anatomically correct Pickle's physique actually is. So let's dive into it. So first off, we want to take a look at his arms. So if we zoom in just a bit here, he has this thing going on that I noticed Mr. Oliva has as well, is his arms, especially in this region, look kind of whack, to be honest. And not to mention their proportions are completely off. So remember, in this video, this isn't from a bodybuilding perspective, this is just from an anatomical perspective. So proportions can be off just a bit, that's okay. It's more so about having those muscles in there. Let's take a look. So the forearms actually look pretty good. You can see the extensors, you can see the flexors, you can see our favorite, the extensor carpi radialis longus muscle. Remember, if you can say that 5 times fast, I'm gonna be really impressed. So, but going back here, I mean, Pickle's proportions are really whack to me, but remember, he is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, which makes sense. So you have this muscle right here that looks like the, let me make that a little thinner right there. It kind of looks like the brachialis muscle in the arm. Now, I do apologize, this anatomical chart is a little blurry. I couldn't really find a higher quality picture. If you know of one, let me know. But basically, it's this muscle right there. It's called the brachialis. And I believe that's what this is supposed to be here. And then I think this is supposed to be the short and long head of the biceps. So this side looks a little whack to me, but this side is actually a little bit better. You have the brachialis here, I believe is what they're going for. It could also be this muscle as well, and then that could be the long head of the bicep. So they're off just a bit. This could be the tricep. So the arms are just throwing me off a bit, let alone the proportions. But if you look at the shoulders overall, they look pretty good. You can see the anterior head, the lateral head, and I believe this would be the posterior head. You can come around here to the back side. There's the posterior head, the lateral head. Shoulders are really good. Baki animators are really good at shoulders. The arms are a little bit off. I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10 just because I don't really know what's going on in this area. So that's a 5 out of 10 on the upper limbs. Now we're gonna go to the upper torso. So specifically the chest, the abs, the core, and kind of the lats popping out here. And I actually think he's got a really good upper torso. So you can see the feathering in the chest from a bodybuilding perspective, that would be a plus right there. You can see the ab development right there. He's shredded all throughout. This is called the rectus abdominis right here. This is another common thing in Baki drawings. They just really don't have this muscle right here. If we go back to our guy over here, we're talking about the serratus right here. They kind of look like riblets, I like to think of them. So you're looking at the serratus anterior. You go back over here, not much going on there, right? I have to deduct a point for that, but his rectus abdominis look good, his obliques look pretty good, and you can see his lats flaring out there from a bodybuilding perspective. That gives him this V shape right here, which is an A+ in bodybuilding. Also, it's kind of more of a back muscle, but his traps pop out right there. They look really good. Also, this drawing is starting to look like some kind of really complex math equation, and I'm okay with that. So from a upper body torso perspective, I give him a 9 out of 10. So let's see, I gave him a 5 on arms and a 9 on that. So now we're gonna go to upper back. And before we go on to the back, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. And let me know down below in the comments who you'd like to see me rate from an anatomical perspective next. If we go over here, we've already taken a look at the upper back shoulders and they look pretty good. Now you can go into here, you're looking at the traps. Those actually look anatomically very accurate. You can also see this is the erector spinae right there. It's really dominant. You'll never see that in real life. Maybe out of a strongman competitor or a power lifter, someone that can like deadlift like 1,000 pounds. You can see that. But yeah, you can actually see the obliques popping out there too, which is really cool. you have the latissimus dorsi, and then in this region you have the rhomboids and the teres. So the back actually looks really good. The artists of Baki, I've noticed, are really good with back, which is really impressive because backs just have a lot of muscle in them in general, as you can see. So like if we take a look, there's a lot of muscle here in this region. Let me blow that up just a bit. There's a lot of muscle here in this region, but there's way more muscles back here. And not to mention, you can only see like half of them. A lot of them are deep underneath. And so to get this anatomically accurate is pretty impressive. I'm gonna give them a 9 on that. Last but not least, we're gonna go down to the lower body. And I don't have like a lot of good shots here, but if we start with the calves, sorry, I'm kind of zooming in on his ass right there too, so you might have to look at that a little longer than you want, or maybe not. Maybe you do want to, and that's okay too. So we're looking at the soleus there. That's really good. The gastrocnemius, really good. Those are the two dominant calf muscles. If we go over to our guy over here, soleus, gastrocnemius, right? Labeled right there. So yeah, and then on the front, you have a predominant calf muscle called the tibialis anterior. Yep, right there. And let's see, does he have one? I know this is not the best. Let's go up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. It would probably be this muscle coming in there, maybe over there. It looks like maybe right there. So that looks pretty good. Let's go to the upper thighs though. So you have the biceps femoris and the semitendinosus muscles. So if we go over here on our anatomical guy, biceps femoris and semitendinosus. So right there, and let's see here. Yeah, right there. That's where it's labeled. There you go. And so that's what these are. The Baki animators actually did really good. I'm actually really impressed by that. And then you have obviously the gluteus maximus, looks good, very predominant. If this were a bodybuilding rating video, he would be extremely shredded, but he doesn't have a lot of striations in the glutes, and that's actually one common thing that judges look for to determine how well conditioned a competitor is. So we have that. The back half looks really good. The front half right here, you have the vastus lateralis, you have the vastus medialis, and you have the rectus femoris right there. So you have all three of the predominant quadricep muscles that you can actually see. And then remember, somewhere in there underneath all the other ones, you have the vastus intermedius underneath all of those. So overall, his legs look really good too. I'm gonna give him an 8. So this brings his grand total to 18, 13, 31. So a 31 out of 40. That's actually really impressive. I actually don't think we're gonna see that with a lot of other anime outside of Baki. It just happens to be that the Baki animators know their physiques really, really well. So I want to know from you, do you like this style of video? Which one do you prefer? And also, who's next? Who would you like to see me break down from an anatomical perspective? Leave a comment down below and make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.